Alright guys, these are the copa cuts off of my wild pig from Missouri from this last fall. And tonight we are going to mix up our curing blend for this to make capicola, or capicolo, or capicol. It kind of depends on where you're from. So that's going to use some garlic powder, some coriander seeds, some black pepper, some ancho chile pepper powder, and some iodized salt. The first thing we're going to do is just mix up our salts and get these salted down and put in a plastic bag to cure. So I'll show you what that looks like here in just a sec. Okay, so the first thing we want to know is we want to know how much meat we have, because that's going to tell us how much cure we need to make. So I'll measure this bigger chunk first, and that is basically exactly 2 pounds. I'm going to add this on here, and we're at 3 pounds. We believe we're at 3 pounds 1.50 ounces. So we are going to mix up enough for 4 pounds, because in my experience it is always better to be a little bit over cured than under cured. So come back to this again. Okay. And now we need 14 grams of salt times 4. $56. Oh, that's way too many. So all I'm doing now is just mixing this stuff up. Is cured out of whole muscle, just like this is. Prosciutto is typically left on the bone, and it it's not really seasoned. What you do, and you don't use any curing salt in prosciutto. What this curing salt, what this does is it's almost like a cheater. Okay, it's getting the meat to a point where it's gonna make it really, really difficult for bacteria to grow, and it also is gonna speed up this drying time. It's the drying time with this is gonna go a lot faster. So these are gonna go in here, and these are supposed to be flipped once every 12 hours. And it is right now 8:20 at night. So tomorrow morning, right before I leave for work, I will flip this, and then tomorrow night, this will be ready to be seasoned. This one's going to take a little longer. This one's going to take a couple more days. This one will be a 2-day. So I'll flip this one tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, the morning after that, and then that evening, so Tuesday evening, this will be ready to be seasoned, and then back into the bags here, and then they'll set up in the fridge for a couple of days, and then they'll go into the new and vastly improved curing chamber. I'll show you guys that in another video here, but I'm really excited because I think I finally have it figured out. We're gonna see. But I think I finally have it figured out. Coriander, coarsely ground, or in this case, crushed, which will work just as fine. Black pepper, Anko chili powder, and garlic powder. Okay, so here's all this. Get this stirred up nice. Depending on what you like, I like this pretty traditional. This is like what you would find at a deli counter in New York or Chicago, someplace that, you know, okay. So here's our finished product. And depending on what you like and what you're used to, you can change some stuff with this. So the first thing you can do is you can increase the heat pretty easily, and there's a couple of ways to do that. If you want a warmer heat, I would just add a bit of cinnamon. It's going to give you that warmer heat, not light your face up fire hot, but just that little bit of warm flavor. Because this is a very traditional seasoning blend. If you wanted to go more of an actual hot direction, you could add some red chili flakes to this. That would give it a lot more of a kick. You could even, if you were really feeling adventurous, you could even add like jalapeno flakes to this, and that would give it a lot. If you want a more acidic note, see, coriander it is lightly citrusy. So with coriander, I would typically do like an orange peel or some lemon zest. I don't have any of that, so I'm not gonna do it. You don't need to. This is gonna be enough, and it's gonna be a very nice citrus note in there. If you don't want to go the citrus route and you want to go more of a savory route, the Anko chili powder and ground mustard seed works really nice together. If you're going to do that mustard seed, I'd recommend adding a little thyme in there as well. This whole thing takes a lot of time, so you know, I always like to joke that, you know, the best thing in charcuterie is time, and when people say, oh, how long does it take? I say, no, the herb, not the thing. Anyway, that's a terrible dad joke for you today. So, for now, I'm just going to stick a square saran wrap over this so it doesn't dry out or collect a bunch of moisture from the air. And, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow evening, Monday evening, and we'll get that first one seasoned with this. All right. All right, so here's our copa. It's been curing for a day, and what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna wipe off the meat, just getting any excess salt or excess moisture off of here. And then we're gonna take the seasoning we made the other night. Season this pretty liberally. So the cool thing about a copa is that this is kind of like a pastrami, except we're not going to smoke this at all. It's just going to cure in those seasonings. Hang and kind of do its thing with the salt and the other seasonings we've added. So really, it's like, if a pastrami is the easiest because you're smoking it and you don't have to worry about bacteria forming during the drying or hanging process, whatever you want to call that. And a prosciutto is the easiest because it's just salt. This is like the next easiest charcuterie you can make. So all we're gonna do, slide this into a plastic bag. We'll get this zipped most of the way up. We're gonna just push all or as much of the air out as we can. You can open a small crack at the top. This will help you kind of roll all the air out of there. Okay. Now when we put this in the fridge, we're going to set a weight on top of it. I'm just going to use a plate to press it, and that's going to help push some of the excess moisture out, and then we're going to let this sit for a day. And we'll flip it once in 12 hours, which will be about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This guy, we need to weigh this real quick. And this weighs exactly 1 pound, so we're looking for a 30% weight loss. Today is the 9th of May. So we're gonna let this go in the new curing chamber for 2 to 3 weeks. and we'll check it. And to hang it, we're gonna use our butcher twine. You guys know, I'll show you this again. Cut yourself off a good piece. And remember, when we tie this up, okay, the first knot we tie is going to dictate how tight we can tie the rest of it. So we want to tie this thing pretty tight. Because we're looking, like I said, we're looking for like 30% weight loss, and we don't want it to slide out of the... So now we're going to go up, over, around and through. Okay. And then okay, now we got this ready to hang. I've got an S hook here. Pick this up from my local hardware store. So I can loop that in there, and we'll go take a look at the new curing chamber quick. So here's the new curing chamber. This is a Robson wine fridge that we have converted over just with the use of a dehumidifier or humidity controller, and it's temperature controlled. So we'll go ahead and hang that in there. We'll make a note on the notepad about date and weight and loss percentage, and we'll check back in a couple weeks. All right guys, well today is the day for our first check on this copa here. And so the goal, that's what she looks like now. And the target weight for this is 2/3 of a pound. I'm gonna put that on there. And that's at about 3/4. I want to get the light a little better there. So it looks like that's at like right at 3/4. So we need probably just a little bit longer, just maybe a couple more days. Keep that going, but so far the new fridge looks to be working really well and doing a really good job, so stay tuned. All right, so we're doing another weight check. Looks like we're at 10 ounces, just under 11 ounces, or 304 grams. So there's 16 ounces in a pound. So we are pretty much right there. We want this to be at 10.56 and we're at 10.75. So we've got 0.25 ounces left to go before it's ready. So we're gonna get this back in the fridge, let it keep doing its thing. All right, so the copa is finished and I've sliced it. This is the one I made. This is a commercial, so obviously you can see the commercial one has more fat, but we've got some friends here that are gonna help taste test. So we got Mike.
Morning. Which one would you like us to try first?
So
Commercial
try
or
the
non-commercial?
try the commercial one first. Yeah.
Tastes salty.
Yeah.
Tastes like fat.
Yep.
Really don't have a meat flavor to it.
Nope.
Where's this pig from?
Missouri.
Missouri. Don't taste fat.
Good.
Tastes like meat.
Good.
Good flavor. Got a little bit of sweetness to it. That's good.
Yeah, that pig was eating on acorns, so I'm sure he tastes pretty nice.
I think better flavor than the commercial.
Good. Do you have much experience eating wild game?
Never had. This is the first time I've ever had wild pig.
Perfect.
Probably. But game I've eaten, but not pig before. Thanks, Mikey.
You're welcome. So which one did you try first, the wild or the commercial?
This one over here.
Yeah, okay, so that's the wild.
Okay.
And then the commercial is the one with more visible fat.
Oh, this.
Yep.
I like the salty.
That's good too. Not as salty as the other.
Not as salty?
I don't think it is. Don't taste it that bad.
Yeah. The other one you have to use curing salt to keep bacteria from forming.